Hi, welcome to the video. I'm going to show you how to make a bunny bag. It's perfect for Easter. It's very, very cute and really, really simple. It's got bunny shaped ears, and then it has a channel that goes around the middle with a cord inside which draws it up, and it just looks really, really cute. You're going to love it. And it's got a pom-pom tail. I've got 4 pieces of fabric here, 2 for the outer. So I've used velour, but you can use anything cotton, denim, anything that you want, and 2 pieces of lining. These are actually from a pillowcase, so they're just a plain white. So I've also got here a piece that is going to be used for the channel, and then something to go around the channel to draw it up, and I've just used this sort of cord. You could use ribbon or anything like that. So the sizes, these are all the same, so all 4 pieces here, so they're 33 centimeters by 33, which is 13 by 13 inches. And then the strip for the channel is 26 by 3 inches, which is 66 by 7.5 centimeters. And then you need about a meter, a little bit less, of rope or ribbon. And that's all you're going to need for this project. Right, so I'm going to create the ears, and it's going to be the same on both pieces of the outer and then the same on the lining as well. What I'm going to do is I need to measure 14 centimeters down, which is like 5.5 inches. Which is there. So I'm going to put a pin there, and I can see that it's sort of in the middle, and then I just want to measure that it's definitely in the middle. So that's like 60. Oh my gosh, look at that. I can't believe that. That is exactly in the middle. Right, okay, so that is my point. So what I'm going to do is I am going to draw a line from that middle point to that outer edge, and that is where I'm going to cut. Same on the other side as well. So from that middle point over to the corner. Okay. And then I'm going to do that on all 4 pieces, and those are going to be, so this will be the body and then this will be the ears. So I'm going to cut those out, and then I'm going to cut the 2 pieces. I just need to do exactly the same with the lining piece. Again, I'm going to be a bit lazy here. I'm just going to put this on top of here, and I'm going to use this as my template. Now I've got all 4 pieces, all exactly the same. I want to put them right sides together, and then the same with the inners, right sides together. And for both of them, what I'm going to do is pin and then sew all the way around the 3 edges. Now on the lining, what I'm going to do is the same, but I'm going to leave a section of about 10 centimeters down in one of the sides so that I'm not going to sew there, and that will be where I will turn everything inside out when I've finished. So I'll go ahead and pin and then sew these. Right, so both of the pieces, the outer and the lining, have been sewn together all the way around, all 3 seams, and a hole has been left in the side of the lining. So now I'm going to box the corners. So what you're going to do is take the corner and form a triangle so that the side seam and the bottom seam sit on top of each other, and then from the top measure down 4 centimeters, which is 1.5 inches, and put a pin in. And then what you're going to do is sew right the way across there, and do that for all 4 of the corners. So both corners of the outer bag, and then both corners of the lining as well. Corners have been boxed. This is what it looks like. And now you just need to cut off the excess on each of the corners. So cut it about a centimetre away. Right, now keep this one, the outer, as it is. Turn the inner inside out. So this is the right side, you can see now. And what you can do is put this inside. So the inner is going inside this outer. And then you're going to attach them together with these 4 seams. So what I tend to do is, first of all, attach the extremities, so the points. And then once you've got those in place, it's easier to then just work with the others, and then go ahead and pin those 4 sides together. Okay, so the 4 sides are attached now, and then what I'm going to do is take it over to the sewing machine and just sew them together. So I'm going to sew literally all the way around the 4 sides, which are now going to be the ears. Now that the bags are sewn together at the top, so that's the ears, what you need to do is just cut a slit here and here, because when it's turned inside out, it will all scrunch up unless you release here. So what I do is just cut a little bit close to the stitching so that it will open, and then the same on this side. And then also I like to just cut these top edges off as well, so that there's just less fabric when it's turned inside out, so it just sits a bit flatter. I'm going to be ready to turn inside out. So what you've got is find that hole that you left in the side there, and then turn it all inside out, and then just check it's going to sit flat. Yeah, it is there. And then on the other side as well. Yeah, so that's fine. Starting to get the shape of what you need to do is just go inside, and on the turning, turn the two hems underneath. They'll just naturally sit underneath. I like to just press the edges to make it even easier, and then just top stitch across there. I always top stitch sort of, there's the opening. I always sort of go about 1 centimetre either side. Okay, so take that to the machine and top stitch that. That's what that looks like now that it's been top stitched. If you want to, this actually could be the last stage, and you could just have the bag turned inside out and then put a ribbon around the ears like that. So you could do that, but what I'm going to do is first of all I'm going to top stitch along here the ears, just so they look a little bit crisper. So I'll top stitch all those 4 edges first of all. There we go. So I've just pinned the 4 sides so that it's easier for me to top stitch. So I'll just take it over to the sewing machine and top stitch those 4 sides. So the top stitching's done, and that just makes it look a little bit neater and gives it a nice crisper finish. So I like that, I think it looks nice. So the next thing I need to do is prepare the channel. So I've got the piece of fabric. So basically this is going to sort of wrap around and then finish at the back, and the cord will go inside there, it will gather up, come out there, and then that's where it will do up. First of all, we need to prepare this. So I've already started doing it earlier actually, but what you need to do is iron a double hem, so about 3/4 centimetre, and then again, so turn it over twice, and the same on the other side, so once, twice, and iron that all in place. Also at the end needs to be turned over once and twice. Now this is pressed into place. What you want to do is just do a line down there, and then a line on the edge of each of the hems, just to keep that in place, and then we're going to attach it onto the bag. So the channel is all sewn, and then now what I want to do is attach it to the bag. So first of all, I want to find the central point so that I can make sure it sits in the right place. I'm just going to put a pin in the centre there, and that is going to be, I'm going to put it just right underneath here because I don't want it to go any further down, so right underneath there. So I'm going to pin that in place, and then just to check that I've got the right size, it should meet, yeah, that's good. I don't want it to go right close up, I want there to be a little gap so that the cord can come through. That is now pinned in place, and it goes round to the back. So I'll take it across to the sewing machine and sew across the top there and the bottom, obviously leaving that free and that free there. So 2 rows of stitching all the way around. Don't know why I said that quite so aggressively. Anyway, I'll take it to the sewing machine. That's attached now, and it looks really nice. So now what I need to do is take the rope. You can use ribbon or anything else. I've just literally attached it to a big safety pin, and I'm just going to thread it all the way through. Once that's threaded through now, and they both come out at the end, they're going to be ready to pull up to make the ear shape. But I am going to do one more thing. I'm going to put a pom-pom on here to make it like the little rabbit's little tail. So I have got a pom-pom maker. I've done a video before of how to make the pom-pom, so I'll link that up below and down below, and I'm going to go ahead and make a pom-pom. I've got some yellow wool and I've got some cream wool, so I think I'm going to do a combination of those 2 colours and see what that looks like, and then if it doesn't look nice, I'll just do one in just yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and make that pom-pom now and get that ready to make the final finishing touch. So made the pom-pom, and I'm quite happy with it. I've got little bits of yellow and cream, so a 2-tone pom-pom. So what you need to do to position it is make sure that you've got this section folded so that it's going to sit above, so when it's sort of sat up, so to speak, it's not hidden. So Make sure you fold that bit down, and then it's just going to go centrally here. Glue gun is ready. It is very, very hot. I've made the mistake before of burning myself, so I'm just going to be careful with it. So I'm just going to put a load of glue there, and then the same onto the pom-pom. Okay, run out of glue now, so that'll have to be enough. Stick it on. Just to make sure. Centralised. I've got a bit of the yellow, a bit of the white on show, so I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to leave that to dry. Right, so the pom-pom is on. I've just chopped it down a little bit actually. I felt it was a little bit big, so I've just given it a little bit of a haircut and made it a bit smaller. And then all I'm going to do is draw that up, pull it tight, put a knot, bow at the back, and then the bag is fun. It's fun, it's finished. So you can put anything that you want in there, little Easter treats, or that can be the treat itself. If you wanted to give it to a child, they could keep some of their toys in there. You could fill it with chocolates if you wanted to, fill it with Easter eggs. I think it's very sweet. So I think it's really cute, and I think that any child receiving that, or any adult even receiving that for an Easter gift, will be very, very happy. So it's very cute. It's lovely. Hope you enjoy making yours, and thanks for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.